everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a double unboxing for you guys, and I have something from Dior as well as something from Pollen to share with you guys. And before we get into the unboxings, if you're new here, hi, my name is Carol and I do a lot of videos on luxury, fashion, and style tips for the working women. So if you like this video, definitely check out my channel, watch a few more of my other videos, and subscribe as well as hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my future uploads. So let's get into the unboxings. I'm going to start with the Dior unboxing first because the item from Pollen is much larger in comparison. So a few months ago, this design or pattern was first released, and I really wanted to get the Dior book tote in this pattern, but that was when I had just purchased another book tote already. So I didn't really want to buy a second one so soon, and it kind of got me to thinking that I wanted to just purchase something in this pattern. So I was contemplating buying something small in this pattern for the longest time, and I basically took too long to decide. So eventually what I wanted in this pattern was sold out in every single boutique, and it was also not available online. So I thought, okay, this is probably for the best because I did not want to waste my money and have this end up being a purchase that I would regret just because I did not think things through and I bought it just because it was pretty. But afterwards, I couldn't stop thinking about this. I couldn't get it off of my mind, and I decided that if it ever came back in stock, I would purchase it because I actually have a use for this item now, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. So I'm going to jump to a clip of the unboxing. So this item came in this really small, tiny cylindrical box, and once you see it, you'll probably know what it is. And inside the box is this gorgeous Mitzah scarf. So the name of this pattern is Rosa Mutabilis or something of the sort. I'll leave the name of it on the screen. And from my Googling of what this flower is or what this pattern is, it seems like it's basically a technical term for China rose. So it's called China rose because the flower was first discovered in China, and I am Chinese, so I will admit that that kind of swayed me into wanting to buy it. And this is just such a pretty scarf. As I mentioned, I do plan on using this on a bag of mine. So I feel like I've talked about this bag so much recently, but I recently did purchase this Picot belt bag. And this bag is very understated, and I would say a little bit of a more casual bag, at least how I would personally style this bag as it is. So I thought that if I wanted to dress this up a little bit, I could use it with the scarf. And the great thing is because there are black details on the scarf, I think it would go really nicely with this black bag. And there's not much embellishments or anything on this bag. It is so simple. So I think that this won't clash with anything on the bag. So I'm going to just very quickly wrap this around just to kind of show you what it will look like. Of course, it's not anywhere near a good job of wrapping a scarf. I actually still have to work on learning how to wrap it properly because I've tried this myself just before filming this video and I couldn't get it to look nice. So I'm not even going to try to make it look super pretty, but essentially this is what it will look like on the front of the scarf. And I probably will tie it into a sort of bow or something at the front over here. So that's what the front of it will look like. And if I tie it really quickly for you guys using the back of the scarf, I also think it looks really nice. If you put effort into tying it nicely, you could make a very nice sort of stripe design on it. And I think that looks really nice, especially since the bag is black. So to make it have a sort of black and pink type of design, I think that could go with a lot of my outfits, especially since a lot of my dressier outfits do tend to be pink. So I think this will be a very good way to use this bag for not only casual outfits, but also dressier outfits too. So this is what the side looks like. So I didn't do it well at all, but there is sort of a stripe pattern that you can form on here. And I just think this is such a nice way to dress up this bag. And instead of buying a new bag for another $2,000 or more than that, usually you can buy a scarf for $230. That's the price of this scarf specifically. You can buy a scarf for $230 and kind of make it so that you have two bags in one. Now the second item I'm going to unbox is from a brand called Pollen, and they're pretty well known on social media, I would say. So I've been wanting to check out their bags for the longest time now, and I was really thinking of getting one of their #1 bags, but it just wasn't one of the things that I really wanted to purchase right away. It was something that I kind of just put in the back of my mind, and if I got to it, I would buy it. But then they released this bag and I decided to get it basically right away without seeing any reviews or anything on it. It just looks so pretty to me, and it's in a bucket bag type of shape, and I was never really a big fan of bucket bags just because I didn't think it looked right proportionally to my body, as well as the general shape of it just didn't look super feminine. In my opinion, it kind of looks like if you took a brown paper bag and you just scrunched up the top of it. So I don't know if you can kind of picture what I'm talking about right now, but it just looks very not put together in my opinion. So I never wanted to get a bucket bag, but when I saw this one, I thought it was the bucket bag I would get if I were to ever get a bucket bag. So since it is from a more affordable brand, it's $290 for the mini size of this bag that I got. It's not super crazy, and if I wanted to try out the bucket bag, it would be this one. So here we have this number 8 mini bucket bag from Pollen, and it is so cute. I love this scalloped detail all over the bag. It's just different pieces of leather formed in the scallop pattern. So I just think that this is such a feminine way to design a bucket bag. And like I said, usually with bucket bags, I feel like when you secure it closed, the bag tends to look kind of ugly. I'm just going to say ugly because that's what I think it is. It just folds very weirdly all over, but because this is in this kind of scallop design all over the bag, it already gives it a bit of shape to form those folds when you cinch it together. So I just think it is so pretty and a lot more refined, I guess, and it's just so feminine because of the scalloping. I usually do love scallop details on anything from like clothes to stationery to anything. I don't know what other examples I can give off the top of my head, but this just looks like the bucket bag that was made for me. So on the bottom of the bag, you do get these 4 little feet, and you have this tab to cinch it in or pull it loose, and this is very easy to maneuver. And then the inside of the bag is actually lined with suede, which I think is great for a bag at this price point. A lot of high-end designer brands don't even give you a suede or leather lining of any sort, so I love that they do that. And this handle is very comfortable to hold, and I've tried on bucket bags in the past, and the handles just completely get in the way of you reaching into your bag. But even though this one is up on top, it actually is very pliable, so you can kind of just bend it to the side to reach inside. And the cons of this bag, because like any other bag, there are some cons to this that I could speak about right away. And they're not major, but the first thing is the shoulder strap, even though it is adjustable, there's 5 different adjustments you can make to the strap, but the shoulder strap is not detachable, and I feel like that's something they could have easily done to it, because they spent so much time tying this kind of knot detail on the strap. Instead of doing that, they could have just made it detachable, because there's already this D-ring on the side of the bag anyways. Just add like some type of clasp and just attach it to the D-ring instead of forming this kind of silly knot. Is that kind of harsh? It might be kind of harsh. So that's one of the things that I don't really like about it. And the other thing is each one of these 6 pleats is a different piece of leather. So you don't really see any of the stitches on the outside of the bag for these pleats. They're all stitched on the inside, but on the back there is one pleat that you can see the stitching for. So it's right here. I hope you guys can see that. So it's right down here where you can see the stitching for it. And this is probably a personal preference for me. I think other people might actually like that because it looks like there is a beginning and an end to the leather on the bag. But what I think it looks like is just they cut a piece of leather that is too small, so they just patched it up on the inside, because for this one pleat you have this one piece of leather that is a little bit too short, and then there is this tiny little piece that they joined to it, and then they stitched it on the inside of the bag like every other pleat. So you do have this one line of stitching here, and it's more obvious because on this brown version they do have a contrast stitching. So the stitching on here is actually like an off-white color. I don't know, is it just me? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. So that is it for this Dior and Pollen unboxing video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Which of these 2 items do you think is the better value, and which of them do you like more? The answers to both of those questions might be different for you. I'm just very curious to know your thoughts on this, and please do give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll leave 2 videos up on the screen for you to watch next. So I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.